All right, call law. Abanawi Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahushai. It's your brother Chief Priest Alazar Ben Lawyer, aka the Guerrilla Hebrew.
It's the brother Hassad.
And we are live with a Sabbath class. It's the 22nd day of the second month. You know, for those of y'all who get confused or whatever, you know, you have a portion of people in Israel who keep what we believe is the ancient calendar that Yahweh gave us, the Most High gave us, which is predicated exclusively on sun, moon, and stars. That is not fixed, so we don't go by these Gregorian times at all. We don't believe that Friday night to Saturday night is the fixed Sabbath. We believe that the Sabbath is determined by what the Most High gave us in Genesis, the first chapter. Therefore, tonight will be the Shabbat until sunset tomorrow, and that will change next week when the new moon comes in, and it'll be Friday to Saturday like everyone else for a month's time, for 4 weeks, and then it'll transition again. So just I want to put that disclaimer out for people who may get confused and not understand. People who are newer to the truth, who don't understand the concept of a lunar Sabbath. You also have a portion of Israelites that keep a Sabbath on Wednesday who follow the Enoch calendar truthfully. You got some people who believe in the calendar of Enoch, right? But if you truly follow the calendar of Enoch, you keep a Wednesday Sabbath, because that's when Enoch says the Sabbath is on Wednesday, for the record. But yeah, so this is our Sabbath class. We've been doing this month. This month's the first month we've actually done it, and we want to continue it, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. So, you know, we're doing our YASHARAH class on Monday, Chronicle class on Tuesday, Situation Room Wednesday, and then because the Shabbat is falling on Thursday, for this month we're doing it now. Next month we'll do it. We either do it Friday night or early Saturday, kind of depending. Saturday before camp. We were supposed to go out to camp actually today, but it was raining real hard here in Atlanta, so we'll just go out on Saturday. But yeah, so Shalom Shabbat, Shalom MASHARAH Shabbat to everybody who's in the building. 1 second. Shabbat.
Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear us.
They can hear us. Was somebody saying they can't hear us?
Yeah, someone said the audio's low. I just told him to turn his headphones up. But
It is low.
just in case.
It is low, and I don't understand why it's so low. But it's low for sure. I can see the levels is low. Oh yeah, but Yahweh Shem Yahushai Barak Atham. Yeah, my audios is real low. It's not real low, but it's lower than usual. I'm not sure as to why exactly, but I know that's going on. Where I'm at. All right, so of course, because it's a Sabbath class, we're going to start with the service part of it, right? We're going to start with the service part of it. Then we're going to go into the Torah. Yeah, we finished that, so we're going to be starting the Torah over from Exodus 19 tonight, 19 to 23. All right.
19.
Yeah, 19 to 23, guarantee you that. That's not all right. Exactly, Tronji. Good point. Good point. All right. Let's open with the prayers and whatnot. All right, everybody want to pray along with us? Just rise and face the east. All right. Barakatah Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Haha Wa'ah. Nathana Nawa. Shabbat. All right, you lead us in the Lord's Prayer, right? Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Hayah. Shamka. Yahweh. Malakwathka. Taba'ah. Ratazaka. Hayah. Aisha. Ba'arataza. Kawa. Hayah. Aisha. Ba'arataza. Kawa. Hayah. Bashamayim. Nathana. Lakam. Kasalaknaw. Kabawathinaw. Kabawathinaw. Wala'ah. Tabayamanaw. Banasawayawan. Abal. Hawashinaw. Mayan. Rai. Kaya. Lakha. Hamalakwath. Waha'ala. Wahathapa'arath. Aman. Aslaki. La'awali. Aman. You're right. All right, I'll lead in Numbers 6th chapter. Yabaraka Yahweh. Waishamarka. Ya'ar. Yahweh. Pan Yawa. Al Yaka. Wayakanka. Yesha. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Mashiach Yahushai. Al Yaka. Waishamam. Laka. Shalom. All right. Leading the Shema. Shema, Yasharahla, Yahweh, Allahayanawa, Yahweh, Achad. Shema, Yasharahla, Yahweh, Allahayanawa, Yahweh, Achad. Shema, Yasharahla, Yahweh, Allahayanawa, Yahweh, Achad. All right, now I'm going to bless the Torah. We're going to start our reading. Barakatah Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Hahawa'ah. Nathan Lanawa. Hathawara. All right. We'll get into Exodus 19. We're going to start Exodus 19, read to 23. So go ahead.
This is Exodus chapter 19 and verse 1. It says, in the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai. Mm-hmm. For they were departed from Rephidim and were come to the desert of Sinai and had pitched in the wilderness, and there Israel camped before the mount. Mm-hmm. And Moses went up unto God, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, mm-hmm. and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine.
That's right. Go ahead. So basically here we're entering into this agreement with the Most High Yahweh that we're going to keep the commandments. And, he's going to be good to us. Order Melchizedek, what's your question? Go ahead.
Verse 6. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation. Mm-hmm. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. And Moses came and called for the elders of the people, and laid before their faces all these words which Yahweh commanded him. Mm-hmm. And all the people answered together and said, all that Yahweh has spoken, we will do.
So he said, everything Yahweh said, we are going to do. Read on.
And Moses returned the words of the people unto the Lord. And the Lord spake unto Moses, so he said unto Moses, lo, I come unto thee in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with thee, and believe thee forever. And Moses told the words of the people unto Yahweh. And the Lord said unto Moses, go unto the people and sanctify them today and tomorrow, and let them wash their clothes. And be ready against the 3rd day. For the 3rd day Yahweh will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai. And thou shalt set bounds unto the people round about, saying, take heed to yourselves, that ye go not up into the mount, or touch the border of it. Whosoever toucheth the mount shall be surely put to death. Mm-hmm. There shall not a hand touch it, but he shall surely be stoned, or shot through.
Mm-hmm. Read on. Or shot. Go ahead.
It says, whether it be beast or man, it shall not live. When the trumpet soundeth long, they shall come up to the mount. And Moses went down from the mount unto the people, and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes. Mm-hmm. And he said,
so this is the whole purification process that we got to go through before we could deal with the Most High, right? Read on.
And he said unto the people, Be ready against the third day. Come not at your wives. And it came to pass.
So we weren't allowed to have sex doing it because that makes you ceremonially unclean, right? So read on.
And it came to pass on the third day in the morning that there were thunders and lightnings, and a thick cloud upon the mount, and the voice of the trumpet exceeding loud, so that all the people that was in the camp trembled. And Moses brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with God, and they stood at the nether part of the mount. And Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke, because Yahweh descended upon it.
So it was full with nothing but smoke, right? Read on.
It says, because Yahweh descended upon it in fire, and the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mount quaked greatly. And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long, and waxed louder and louder, Moses spake, and God answered him by a voice. And Yahweh came down upon Mount Sinai, in the top of the mount, and the Lord called Moses up to the top of the mount, and Moses went up. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go down, charge the people, lest they break through unto Yahweh to gaze, and many of them perish.
Meaning, if you see this triumphant, glorious thing that's going on, people are going to die. Your human brain is not going to be able to take what you're seeing, right? Read on.
Yeah,
you got a point?
Yeah, just that's why I believe it's John the 1st chapter where it says, No man has seen God at any time, no one has heard him, and what is this? I think it says also in the Torah, I can't remember, you can't see my face at any time. No man has seen my face and lived. Or no, you see what I'm saying? Because you can't behold any of that. And I was reading 2nd Ezra earlier, how the angel gave like a parable to Ezra, and he said, if you can measure the fire or measure the wind, then you can understand the Most High's ways. That's why Most High said, my thoughts are not your thoughts. You can't comprehend even earthly things. How can we comprehend the Most High? But this is verse 19. And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long and waxed louder and louder, Moses spake, and God answered him by a voice. And Yahweh came down upon Mount Sinai on the top of the mount, and Yahweh called Moses up to the top of the mount, and Moses went up. And Yahweh said unto Moses, Go down, charge the people, lest they break through unto the Lord to gaze, and many of them perish. And let the priests also, which come near to Yahweh, sanctify themselves, lest the Lord break forth upon them. And Moses said unto Yahweh, The people cannot come up to Mount Sinai, for thou chargest us, saying, Set bounds about the mount, and sanctify it. And Yahweh said unto him, Away, get thee down, and thou shalt come up, thou and Aaron with thee, but let not the priests and the people break through to come up unto the Lord, lest he break forth upon them.
Exactly right. So, if you weren't even the priests, right? Only Aaron and Moses could actually go up to, past the bounds of the mountain, right? Read.
It says, So Moses went down unto the people and spake unto them. Chapter 20, verse 1. And God spake all these words, saying, I am Yahweh thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth.
So here he is giving us the commandments about not making idols, right? That's the first thing he tells us to do. Don't make an idol, right? Read on.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, Yahweh thy God, am a jealous God. So what? Oh, okay.
Go ahead. You're all right.
It says, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
What is that teaching us? This is teaching us a couple of things. It's teaching us reincarnation. It's teaching us generational curses. The Most High deals with that right in the first commandment. He's letting you know that he's coming and rewarding people's offspring for their sins. The very same things in the church. They'll tell you. I'm gonna tell you something. The Mormons, right? They used to hand out this card, and some of them still might have it, right? And look out for a very good debate that the brothers in the San Diego camp had with the Mormons very soon through the Spirit. The Mormons, they used to hand out this card with 10 the foundations of faith, something to that effect, of the Mormons, right? And one of them was that nobody dies for anybody else's sins, or nobody gets put to death for their forefathers' sins. But it's in the first commandment that happens to people. So a lot of you idiots don't understand the Bible, man. Right? Read on.
It says, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
That's right. Read on.
and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
See, he shows mercy to those who keep his commandments, right? This is basic stuff here, right in the Ten Commandments, which people don't understand, right? So we have to understand that if we want mercy, we have to keep the commandments. You have all these people, these Christians, and they're going to tell you, oh, we got to give mercy, man. I'm wicked. I need mercy. I've done evil. I'm a sinner, right? Well, who does he give mercy to? Read that part again.
This is Exodus 20:6. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
So he's going to show mercy to you if you keep his commandments. If you're not keeping his commandments, it is literally ludicrous for you to think that you're going to get the mercy of the Most High on you. You got to keep the commandments. You got to do something. We got to understand that our Father Yahweh, he's more just than this world, right? We know he's more just than the magistrates and the judges of this world. In this world, you can sometimes obtain mercy if you're doing, though you did something wrong, if you're doing the right thing in all other areas of life. I've seen it. Dude go, oh, look, yeah, I messed up, or I did this one night, but listen, I got a job now. I'm taking care of my kid. I'm going to school. And sometimes the judge will be lenient upon you in your sentencing, right? So if the white man judge and the white man judicial system, which is corrupt, which is designed to be against you, which is totally unjust, if you get mercy that way, how much more mercy is Yahweh going to give you for keeping his laws, statutes, commandments? Same thing to the kingdom. And the Bible is called reincarnation. The Bible calls it regeneration. The world calls it reincarnation, right? So just awake Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah Wata Wata. Go ahead.
It says, thou shalt not take the name of Yahweh thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain.
That's right. You don't just that name, the name Yahweh shouldn't be taken in vain. Not swearing upon it, not doing things like that. Leave that alone. In vain, right? You don't just that's not a name that you play with. That's a name that evokes power. You don't believe me? Say it into a microphone and go look at how the audio looks, how the sound waves look when you say that word, man. That word invokes power, man. Right? So go ahead.
It's called the incommunicable name. This is I'm gonna keep going. Verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days.
Right, the Shabbat. That's what we in now. The Sabbath. Read on.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of Yahweh thy God.
Right, that's the 7th day. So some brothers keep Friday to Saturday. We do it predicated upon the 7th day from the new moon and every 7 days thereafter. Right, this would be the fourth one of this particular cycle of the moon. 1st, 8th, 15th, and the 22nd. Right, read on.
In it thou shalt not do any work. It says, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant.
Nobody works. The service don't work. Kids, nobody works. Supposed to work on the Shabbat. Go ahead.
Nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
Read on.
For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day.
Right? Does that mean he literally rested on the 7th day? No, because a day to the Lord is 1,000 years. So the creation didn't take place over 7 days as we understand it. The things that existed that determine what 7 days are didn't even exist until the 4th day of creation. So you know the creation did not take place over what we understand as 7 days. That's ludicrous to believe, right? So he has a more celestial way of looking at things, but as far as we're concerned, it's 7 times of the sun setting and the moon going up, and you know what they call 24 hours, even though the concept of 24 hours is not a Hebraic concept, that's an Egyptian concept, 24 hours. But so we can understand what we equivocate today as 24 hours, about 6 of those, and on the 7th one of those, then you rest, right? Read on.
It says, for in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore Yahweh blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother.
Honor thy father and mother, right? You have to honor your parents. Read on.
It says that thy days may be long upon the land which Yahweh thy God giveth thee.
That's right, man. You got to be good to your parents. We in Exodus 20 and what? 13. You have to honor your parents, man. The truest application of honoring your parents is in reference to when they get old. Right? When they get old. Being there for your parents. Helping taking care of them when their body decays. because they took care of you when you were young and you were enabled to take care of yourself. So when their body begins to wither due to old age and things of that nature, you're supposed to be there for them. That's the truest form of truly honoring your parents, man. Right? Read.
Sirach 3:12. My son, help thy father in his age, and grieve him not as long as he liveth.
See that? Help him in his age. When he gets older, you need to be there to help him. Read on.
Verse 13. And if his understanding fail, have patience with him, and despise him not when thou art in thy full strength.
It says when his understanding fail, right? If he starts to go senile, right? Because this happens, you deteriorate your brain and things like that deteriorate. It say when his understanding fail, read.
When his if his understanding fail, have patience with him.
Have what?
Patience with him.
Patience with him. Right? Read on.
And despise him not.
Do not despise him. Don't be vexed by him. Act like, oh, I don't want to go deal with this old crazy nigga. Right? Have patience with him. Right? Read on.
And despise him not when thou art in thy full strength.
When thou art what?
In thy full strength.
Because you're an adult now. You have the ability to help your old decrepit parent. And that's how you honor them. This is what the book of Sirach is elaborating upon in this instance. Right? Read.
For the relieving of thy father shall not be forgotten. And instead of sins, it shall be added to build thee up.
You see that? It should be added to build thee up that you do that thing in honoring your parents. Right? Read on.
Okay, this whole chapter really goes into it, but I'm going to just read this so we can get back to the Torah. Verse 16. I'm going to jump to verse 16. He that forsaketh his father is as a blasphemer.
Ooh. See that? That's going right back to the law. Honor your father and your mother. Right? Read.
And he that angereth his mother is cursed of God.
See that? So you gotta be good to your parents, man. It's a commandment. Go ahead.
It says, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery.
We don't murder each other, right? We don't commit adultery. We don't have sex with other people's wives of any nation. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not steal.
We don't steal from each other. We can clearly see in the Bible us stealing from other nations at the commandment of God. Earlier in the book of Exodus, he commanded us to rob Egyptians. So we know that's not talking about to the other nations. It's talking about amongst each other. We don't steal from other blacks and Latinos and Native Indians. We don't do that, right? Read on.
Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
Against who?
Thy neighbor.
Right? So that means you could bear false witness against a heathen. But it says against thy neighbor, thy fellow Israelite, right? Your grandparents are, your parents are, you know. But you have to understand that is really on your parents to do that to your grandparents, because that's their parents. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor, right? Your fellow Israelite, you don't make up a lie. You don't lie on them. It's not what you do. You don't bear false witness against your neighbor, right? Because you bear false witness against an Edomite if you needed to. I mean, the Bible don't have a law against that, for the record. But go ahead.
Verse 17. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house.
You don't covet what your neighbor has. Read on.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant.
See, because a lot of problems happen when you begin to start coveting, and this is where that sin in your mind, man, you begin to kill and steal and commit adultery from coveting. You first covet. You first see the brother's house and you want his house. You don't want to get a house like him. You want his house. That's coveting, right? You see the brother's car, you want his car. You don't want to get a car like him. You want his car. You see the brother's wife, you don't want to get a wife like his wife. You want to get his wife. That's the problem. I'm not saying, damn, you know, this brother, he's doing well for himself. He got him a nice home, a nice car, a nice wife. I want to have something like that. You know, I'm gonna use him as inspiration to set goals in my life, right? Instead, you go, nah, I want what that nigga got. And that leads you to steal, to kill, and commit adultery. Right? Read.
Verse, I'm going to keep going. It says, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. And they said unto Moses, speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not God speak with us, lest we die.
They said, listen, man, we're frightened. We're terrified of this guy, Yahweh, man. We don't even want to talk to him. You go holler at him. I'm scared out of my mind. We gonna die if we sit through any more of this. You go holler at him. You get the rest of this, the other 603 commandments, and then you bring it back down to us. We'll deal with you. Wouldn't even want to deal with the man upstairs, basically, right? They were scared, right? Read.
And Moses said unto the people, fear not, for God is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces.
He said, I'm just coming to make sure that you know to be scared of me. I'm trying to show you, I'm trying to instill something in the mind of Israel. Yahweh was trying to do at this time. If that means I'm not nothing to play with. Me talking to you makes your heart want to stop beating. You're so afraid. I'm nothing to play with. Do not play with me. See, Israel, here's why Israel, we don't have no excuse. Because the same people that saw this happen turned around and sinned. Not just us like, okay, now we ain't, our forefathers seen it and we seen it in the regeneration, but as far as this life, there's no remembrance of former things, right? So as far as this life goes, we ain't see that, right? These people who saw that happen still sinned. They watched this, scared out of their mind. They still played with them. This is why Israel don't got no excuse, man. This is why we got to get right. Because there's no reason why this decrepit devil can rule over us. There's no reason why this camel jockey should rule over us. There's no reason why this red dot stinking Hindu should rule over us. There's no reason why this slanted eye slope should rule over us. There's literally no reason. It makes no sense that these people have dominion over us. The only way that's possible is if we did something idiotic like see a guy talk and make us want to die just from hearing his voice and disobeying him. That right there. See what I'm saying? Go ahead.
This is Prayer of Azariah, chapter 1, verse 4. It says, for thou art righteous in all the things that thou hast done to us. Yea, true are all thy works, thy ways are right, and all thy judgments true. And all the things that thou hast brought upon us, and upon the holy city of our fathers, even Jerusalem, thou hast executed true judgment. For according to truth and judgment didst thou bring all these things upon us because of our sins. That's pretty much the point. That's the reason why that they're over us. Not because they're better than us, but because we sin.
That's right. That's damn right. Go ahead.
Verse 21. Verse 20. And Moses said unto the people, fear not, for God has come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. And the people stood afar off, and Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where God was. And Yahweh said unto Moses, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, ye have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. Ye shall not make with me gods of silver, neither shall ye make unto you gods of gold. An altar of earth thou shalt make unto me, and shalt sacrifice thereon thy burnt offerings, and thy peace offerings, thy sheep and thine oxen. In all places where I record my name, I will come unto thee, and I will bless thee. And if thou shalt, and if thou wilt make me an altar of stone, thou shalt not build it of hewn stone, for if thou lift up thy tool upon it, thou hast polluted it. Neither shalt thou go up by steps unto mine altar, that thy nakedness be not discovered thereon.
That's right. Why? Because the step altars is how the Canaanites built their altars. You can see that when if anybody who's been to a strip club, or you can just look at a picture of a strip club, that's a step altar that goes up to a pole. That's the Asherah pole. All of that is ancient Canaanite religion and idolatry. So we can't go up to it on steps. Right? Read.
This is Exodus chapter 26 or 21, verse 1. Now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. If you buy an Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing. If he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. If his master have given him a wife, and she have borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her masters.
Salakia, go ahead.
All right. It says, if his master have given him a wife, and she have borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her masters, and he shall go out by himself. And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out for free, then his master shall bring him unto the judges, and he shall also bring him to the door, or unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl.
Right. What does that all symbolize? That symbolizes that he has voluntarily made himself a servant to another Israelite man for life. He's volunteering for this, right? He's not being forced. So he's got to go to the judges. They got to recognize it. They got to mandate it, and they have to use that as a token of this agreement, right? But it's all of his choice. He's not being kept. If you're a Hebrew Israelite, you cannot be kept as a servant longer than 7 years except by choice. That's the law, right? So for some who say, slavery in the Bible, well, you're an Israelite. So you can't be a slave longer than 7 years, and all of it is only by choice. Anytime you are a servant, it's by your choice that you even entered into that servitude in the first place. And if you want to stay over 7 years, it's all by your choice. All right? So, I mean, we didn't choose to be slaves now, did we? All right. So go ahead.
And he shall serve him forever. And if a man sell his daughter to be a maidservant, she shall not go out as the men servants do. If she please not her master, who hath betrothed her to himself, then shall he let her be redeemed. To sell her unto a strange nation, he shall have no power.
Exactly. So now, if a man was to sell his daughter to be a servant, right? What happens is if the person that he sells her to, that brother doesn't like her, she's redeemed. He can't go say, I'm gonna sell her to the Edomites. I'm gonna sell her to the Ishmaelites. No, her father's to come and redeem her, meaning give him the money that's equivalent to her service, and she go back to her father's house. Right? Read on.
God, seeing he hath dealt deceitfully with her. And if he hath betrothed her unto his son,
right, or if he has basically paid for her like a servant to come and have a service, but now she's entered into an agreement with her and his son, right? Read.
He shall deal with her after the manner of daughters.
But as soon as he betroths her unto his son, she's no longer a servant. She is his daughter-in-law in particular, right? Read on.
Con. It says, if he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage, he shall not diminish. And if he do not these three unto her, then she shall go out free without money.
That's right. And if he does not do what she's supposed to do to her and fulfill his duties, then she can just leave. She's not going to get anything in return, but she can leave, right, and do what the hell she feel like doing. Go ahead.
He that smiteth a man so that he die shall be surely put to death.
You kill a man. Go ahead. You shall die. You shall be put to death. Right? Read.
And if a man lie not in wait, but God deliver him into his hand, then I will appoint thee a place whither he shall flee.
Right. So if it's just, that's what you call manslaughter, right? You didn't come with the intent to murder anybody, but somebody ends up dying, because murder and manslaughter, all these things are predicated upon intent, even in the American judicial system. So if you manslay somebody, there's an area where you can go and flee to, right? Read on.
It says, but if a man come presumptuously upon his neighbor to slay him with guile, thou shalt take him from mine altar that he may die.
Because he's a murderer. Go ahead.
And he that smiteth his father or his mother shall be surely put to death. You put your hands on your parents, you got put to death.
Yeah, just listen. Now, you kill somebody with the intent, you're going to die. You injure, you purposely fight your parents, you get put to death. Right? Read on.
And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand.
If you kidnap somebody and sell him to somebody, or if you just kidnap somebody, period, right? Read.
He shall surely be put to death.
You got to die for that too. So what the white man did to us, he's got to get put to death for that, right? And any other nation for that matter. Read on.
And he that curseth his father or his mother shall surely be put to death.
Can't curse your parents, right? Go ahead.
And if men strive together, and one smite another with a stone, or with his fist, and he die not, but keepeth his bed, if he rise again and walk abroad upon his staff, then shall he that smote him be quit. Only he shall pay for the loss of his time.
Right. So however many days of work you miss, if I injured you to the point where you had to miss work, I had to compensate you for the work that you missed. Right. So they have this today through AFLAC. The white man have something called AFLAC, workers' comp, things of that nature. Yahweh made that up. Okay, right here in the law. What you see today is based in the Bible. Go ahead.
It says, and shall cause him to be thoroughly healed. And if a man smite his servant or his maid with a rod, and he die under his hand, he shall be surely punished. Notwithstanding, if he continue a day or two.
Right. So if you beat your slave to the point where they die, you get punished for it. You don't get put to death, but you get punished for it, for going overboard. Right.
If he continue a day or two, he shall not be punished, for he is his money.
That's right. But if he's cool and don't die, there's no punishment there. Right. Go ahead.
If men strive and hurt a woman with child, so that her fruit depart from her, and yet no mischief follow, he shall be surely punished, according as the woman's husband will lay upon him.
So that's dealing with intent. It's not a purposeful murder, but a baby was lost due to the scuffle. Then the father of that child is going to lay stripes on you. He's going to lash you, or he's going to whoop your ass to a reasonable point, and the judges are going to exact a fine that you will have to pay because there is a life that's been lost. Right? Read on.
And he shall pay as the judges determine.
Uh-huh.
And if any mischief follow, then thou shalt give life for life.
See that? And that's where the intent comes with the mischief follow, and then you give life for life. Letting you know that killing a baby that's in a womb is considered a life, a being, and it's considered a murder if you kill it. So abortion, people who get abortions are considered murderers according to the Bible. And you give a life for a life. So if you abort a baby, you need to die. Right? So we understand that when we come in the truth, we know this now, we are to repent. If people have done that, you got to repent from that, right? Because that's murder, that's worthy of death, and you got to hope to be forgiven for that. But anybody who knowingly does, that's why it's important that we condemn that activity, and the white man has given us that option to add sin to us and to control our population and to try to stifle the growth of the nation of Israel. Understand that. There's a reason why that they're trying to bring Planned Parenthood to Haiti, and the United States government is offering $250 million to bring abortion clinics to Haiti, right? Why would you spend $250 million to put an abortion clinic in a country that's not yours? There has to be a very sinister agenda behind that, right? Because if anybody's familiar with Haiti, we're predominantly Catholics. People who are predominantly Catholics are a lot less likely to abort babies than anyone else, right? Mexicans, Latinos, Haitians, we get abortions. We still get abortions, don't get it wrong. We get abortions a lot less than Judites do, right? Because Judites are not Catholic, and Judites don't have a pope that tells them how to think, right? So the pope is against abortion, though he feels like he has the power to forgive abortion. He's against abortion. So all of us that follow the pope, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, Latinos, etc. Of course, I don't follow the pope, but I once did, are against abortion, right? But go ahead.
It says, and if any mischief follow, then thou shalt give life for life. Eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot.
That's right. That's how it goes. Eye for an eye. Read on.
Burning for burning, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. And if a man smite the eye of his servant, or the eye of his maid, that it perish, he shall let him go free for his eye's sake. And if he smite out...
So if you knock your servant eye out and got him looking like Fetty Wap, I don't care how long he served you. If he ain't reached his 70 years, you let him go. Because you did something that's totally cruel to him, right? Again, this is your servant. What does this mean? This is talking about Israelites. Go ahead.
And if he smite out his servant's tooth or his maidservant's tooth, he shall let him go free for his tooth's sake.
Right, maidservant. This ain't the slaves of the heathen. These are the maidservants, right? Go ahead. This ain't a bond person, right? This is a Hebrew servant. Go ahead.
If an ox gore a man or a woman that they die, then the ox shall be surely stoned.
Right? If an animal kills somebody, you got to get rid of that damn animal. Go ahead.
And his flesh shall not be eaten, but the owner of the ox shall be quit. But if the ox were wont to push with his horn in time past, and it hath been testified to his owner, and he hath not kept him in, but that he had killed a man or a woman, the ox shall be stoned, and his owner also shall be put to death.
So if basically you got this killer beast on the loose, and you're not doing what you need to do in order to keep him away from people, and you let him kill again, your ass gotta die, because you know he's a killer. So you've essentially facilitated this animal murdering an Israelite. That's a problem. You gotta die now, right? Read on.
If there be laid on him a sum of money, then he shall give him for the ransom of his life, whatsoever is laid upon him.
Meaning the only way he can get out of death is if he pays, right? The ransom of his life. Every firstborn of Israel also has a ransom on their life, right? Because every firstborn of unclean beasts and Israelites have a ransom, because the firstborn of everything is Yahweh's, right? Meaning he wants the life of the firstborn. But you can't sacrifice an unclean being. You can't sacrifice a human being, right? So what do? You give money, right? So if you had 6 pigs on your farm that would clean things up, guess what? You would have to pay for every one of those pigs, or the firstborn of every one of those pigs. for the firstborn of your family, you would have to pay. That's a ransom in the Bible, right? Read.
Whether he have gored a son or have gored a daughter, according to this judgment shall it be done unto him.
Oh, where's the inequality here? I thought, we hate women, but it's saying that a son or a daughter, life is worth the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's not. There is a hierarchy, right? There's leadership. The man is the head of the woman, but the life of a man and the life of a woman is not saying that the life of an Israelite woman is any less than the Israelite man. But there is certainly a modus operandum of order of how that goes. Right? So go ahead.
It says, if the ox shall push a manservant or a maidservant, he shall give unto their master 30 shekels of silver, and the ox shall be stoned.
That's right. You got to kill it, even for the servants, because the servants are also Israelites. Right? It's not talking about the bond people. It's talking about the servants. Go ahead.
It says, and if a man shall open a pit, or if a man, that's important to notice too, because someone that's literally bound. That's like damn shackles and things like that.
You're a slave.
You're a slave.
You're a chattel. You're property. Chattel slavery.
A butler or not even just someone that helps you around, like more like a, what's it called when someone like if you want to be an electrician, you go learn under an electrician.
An apprenticeship.
An apprentice. You're almost like an apprentice in a way. That's not the same as damn Toby.
Yeah, exactly. It's not in no way the same. And you can see that the way the Torah is speaking to how you treat the different classes here. Yeah. You can do things to some people that you can't do to others. So read.
I think it mentions you can't over the children of Israel. You can't rule over another with rigor. Verse 34 or verse 33. If a man shall open a pit, or if a man shall dig a pit, and not cover it, and an ox or an ass fall therein, the owner of the pit shall make it good.
That's right. You make it good, man. You got to pay somebody back. Read.
And give money unto the owner of them, and the dead beast shall be his. And if one man's ox hurt,
basically you got to pay for that ox, and you got to deal with it now. You got to bury it, etc. It's yours now. You break it, you buy it. Yeah. That comes from the Bible. We're reading it, right? Read.
And if one man's ox hurt another's, that he die, then they shall sell the live ox and divide the money of it. And the dead ox also shall they divide. Or if it be known that the ox hath used to push in time past, and his owner hath not kept him in, he shall surely pay ox for ox, and the dead shall be his own. Exodus chapter 22 verse 1. If a man shall steal an ox or a sheep and kill it or sell it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox.
That's right. For one ox, 5 oxen. Read.
And 4 sheep for a sheep. If a thief be found breaking up and be smitten that he die, there shall no blood be shed for him.
That's right. Meaning, the United States of America, they got a similar law now. Meaning, if you come and break in my house and I shoot you, that's called, in every state, states with the harshest gun laws. This is in California. Harsh gun laws in California, but they have something in California called castle doctrine. Castle doctrine means my house is my castle and I have the right to protect my castle at all costs. So if you break into my house, I have the right to shoot you dead. If you were coming to steal my toaster, I can kill you, right? They get this out of the Bible. This is where they get castle doctrine from. If I catch you stealing and it ends up somehow that in me trying to stop you from stealing, you get killed, there's nothing, that's not a crime. Right? Read that again.
This is Exodus 22:2. If a thief be found breaking up.
If he be found breaking up. See, and again, the American law, it mirrors this. If a thief be found breaking up, right? Meaning in the act of stealing. Read on.
It says, and he be smitten that he die, there shall no blood be shed for him.
See that just like now. Like, if you catch him in your house, you can shoot him dead. But if he's running and he's outside of your house now, he's running away, you can't, he's not breaking up anymore. You can't shoot him anymore. But if he's in the house, you can shoot him. This is biblical. If you catch him while he's breaking up and you smite him that he die, there's been no crime committed. Right? Read.
Yeah, because as in the midst of him breaking in, you don't even know what he's breaking in to do.
Yeah, you don't know what he's doing.
You know, like the brother gave an example. You don't know if he's coming just to steal a toaster, or if he's coming to kill you, to kill your family, or to do who knows.
You have no idea.
Yeah, exactly, you have no idea.
So you got to neutralize that problem.
Exactly.
But if he's running away now, he's not posing you a threat anymore.
Yeah, if he's walking around with a toaster in his hand, you know what I mean? It's not a threat no more.
He's out with the toaster.
He's just got to give you a toaster and 20%.
The man wants a Pop-Tart. All right, go ahead.
Verse 3. If the sun be risen upon him, there shall be blood shed for him. For he should make full restitution. if he have nothing.
Exactly. We find out, right? And he got to restore, right? Go ahead.
It says, if he have nothing, then he shall be sold for his theft.
And now if he have nothing, right, you get sold for your theft. Meaning you you got to go, just like they had debtor's prison in America in the early 1900s. You basically got to go to debtor's prison. You got to go become a servant in order to pay back your debt, to earn money so you can pay back the person who you've done wrong to, right? Well, we ain't have prison. You got to go, okay, you got to go be somebody's servant. Just like the old thing, if you try to dine and dash and you get caught, you got to go to the back through the spirit. You're gonna say it and wash the dishes.
I was just about to say that.
You got to serve.
Yep.
Right. To do a labor that equates to the amount of money that this person is due. So you a lot of times go and serve that person. Right. Read on.
Okay. It says, verse 4, and if the theft be certainly found in his hand alive, whether it be ox or ass or sheep,
whatever he's stealing, go ahead.
He shall restore double. If a man shall, so that's like it's 2 toasters you got to give back.
That's right.
If a man shall cause a field or a vineyard to be eaten, and shall put in his beast, and shall feed in another man's field, or the best of his own field, and of the best of his own vineyard, shall he make restitution.
That's right. I come and have my beast come and eat up your stuff. I got to give it back to you. Read on.
If fire break out and catch in thorns, so that the stacks of corn, or the standing corn, or the field be consumed therewith, he that kindleth the fire shall surely make restitution. If a man shall deliver unto his neighbor money or stuff to keep, and it be stolen out of the man's house, if the thief be found, let him pay double.
That's right. When you find out somebody who stole out of somebody's house, who was keeping something for somebody, they got to pay double. Read on.
If the thief be not found, then the master of the house shall be brought unto the judges, to see whether he hath put his hands unto his neighbor's goods. For all manner of trespass, whether it be for ox, for ass, for sheep, for raiment, or for any matter of lost thing, which another challengeth to be his, the cause of both parties shall come before the judges.
The judges got to hear both sides and make a judgment. You see that today. They have Judge Judy, Judge Mathis, Judge Joe Brown, divorce court, right? All the same things. Go ahead.
And whom the judges shall condemn, he shall pay double unto his neighbor. If a man deliver unto his neighbor an ass, or an ox, or a sheep, or any beast, to keep, and it die, or be hurt, or driven away, no man seeing it, then shall an oath of the Lord be between them both, that he hath not put his hand unto his neighbor's goods. And the owner of it shall accept thereof, and he shall not make it good.
Yeah, when somebody swear that oath in that instance, right, before Yahweh, because you don't play with the Most High so much that you would come in our judicial system and you would do that, we would go, okay, this brother got to be telling the truth, because he should fear him more than he should fear us, right? Because guess what now? If you've done that and you're lying, watch what Yahweh does to you. Watch how he gets you. All we can do is exact certain judgments that he's according, but he can do something horrible to you. I'll tell you that now. He can take everything you love directly from you in front of your eyes and make you powerless. So don't play with him. Right? Point? Precept?
Yeah, I got it. Let me first get this one, then I'm going to try to find the other one. This is Matthew 10 and 26. I'm going to get Mark 4 and 22. For there is nothing hid which shall not be made manifest. Neither was anything kept secret, but that it should come abroad. So like the brother said, you think that you can just lie and, oh, well, man, they ain't do nothing to me, so Most High ain't going to do nothing. No, the Most High, he sees everything. That's why I'm going to get this scripture in Sirach. Man, I'm going to be mad as hell if I can't find this. It's, hold on, I think I got it. Okay, this is Sirach 23 and 19. It says, such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men and considering the most secret parts. So you're not going to get away. Most High's eyes are brighter than 10,000 suns.
That's right.
Let's see, where are we at? Verse 12. Exodus 22 and 12. And if it be stolen from him, he shall make restitution unto the owner thereof. If it be torn in pieces, then let him bring it for witness, and he shall not make good that which was torn. And if a man borrow aught of his neighbor, and it be hurt or die, the owner thereof being not with it, he shall surely make it good. But if the owner thereof be with it, he shall not make it good. If it be an hired thing, it came for his hire. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed.
So here you have a woman who's single, a young sister that's single. He entice a maid. How do you entice somebody, right? You convince them. You say words that is going to get them to do what you want them to do, right? Okay, I think I speak for a lot of brothers in this chat right now. We say we've all enticed a maid. I speak for a lot of sisters in this chat when I say you've been enticed, right? Read.
And lie with her.
And what?
Lie with her.
Right, I'm trying to say the things that I need to say to her that's going to get her to agree to having sex with me, right? That's what's going on right here, right? Read on.
He shall surely endow her to be his wife.
And if you do that, she's your wife. You are to pay her father because you've done that. Read.
If her father utterly refused to give her unto him,
and then if the father just doesn't like it, guess what? Read.
He shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins.
You still pay the dowry. That's still your wife. But if you and that father cannot negotiate because he just doesn't like you, or you weren't the man that he envisioned for his daughter, you don't come from the right place or whatever, guess what? You got to give the minimum dowry. Okay, there's a minimum dowry that existed. Like for example, you have minimum state law mandates certain minimums. Like in California, before you evict somebody, before you start the eviction process, you must first give them a 3-day notice. But you can have a contract that stipulates something else, right? Your lease agreement might say that you must be given a 7-day notice, right? But the state minimum is a 3-day notice. See what I'm saying? But if your contract says 7-day, he got to give you 7 days before they try to evict you. So in this same instance, if you come to it and make a covenant with her father that, look, I'm going to give you 80 shekels of silver, but the minimum is 50, right? If you agree to 80, you got to give him 80. But if y'all can't agree to anything, you just give him 50 and that's it. You good. Because that's the mandatory minimum according to the Torah, right? That's talked about in Deuteronomy 22, right? Read on.
Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live.
Thou shalt what?
Not suffer a witch to live.
Somebody's doing witchcraft, they have to die, right? Period. They did this in Haiti. There was a cholera outbreak in Haiti a few years ago. What the Levite did, rise up, take machetes, and kill all the people who were doing voodoo in the particular area. They said, we believe that God is putting cholera on us because these people are practicing witchcraft. So we're going to kill them. And they went about killing voodoo practitioners all throughout this particular area amongst the country of Haiti. Right? Do not suffer a witch to live. That's what's supposed to be going on. But what really is supposed to be going on is them people who are practicing that need to stop doing it on the left-hand side and come back into this truth, right? So read.
Whosoever lieth with a beast shall surely be put to death.
If you have sex with an animal, you have to die. That's the Bible. Go ahead.
It says, he that sacrificeth unto any god, save unto Yahweh only, he shall be utterly destroyed.
He shall be utterly destroyed. Right? If you sacrifice to any god, there's only one God that we are commanded to sacrifice to. That's Yahweh. Read that again.
He that sacrificeth unto any god, save unto Yahweh only, he shall be utterly destroyed.
And that is this is because people talk about it's Israel monotheistic, polytheistic, henotheistic. In truth, what Israel is mono, where we deal with something called monolatrism, and this verse proves it. Right? I want you to read that verse again.
This is Exodus 22 and 20. He that sacrificeth unto any god, save unto Yahweh only, he shall be utterly destroyed.
Hold on, select it. Where is this damn thing? Okay, there we go. All right. So here we have it, monolatry, right? Monolatrism, right? Monolatria, single worship, is a belief in the existence of many gods, but with the continent worship of only one deity. The term monolatry was perhaps first used by Julius Wellhausen. So here we have, he say, read that again.
He that sacrificeth unto any god, save unto Yahweh only, he shall be utterly destroyed.
That's right, he shall be utterly destroyed. Only Yahweh gets that sacrifice. That's how you worship Yahweh, through sacrificing to him, through keeping his law, statutes, and commandments. So you are singularly supposed to worship him, right? It doesn't matter about any other gods existing, right? There be gods many and lords many. We understand that. There are lesser powers under Yahweh, but he's the Most High, right? But there are lesser powers under him, including angels, demons, us, we're gods, etc., right? But we don't worship any angels. We don't worship any demons. We don't worship any men. We worship Yahweh Echad, right? If y'all remember in the beginning of the Sabbath service, what do we went over something called the Shema, YASHARAHLA, Yahweh, Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh Echad. What does that mean? Hear Israel, Yahweh is your God, Yahweh is one. Him Echad. That's what that means in the Hebrew. One. Him alone do we worship, do we serve, right? To show you that Yahushua uttered the same sentiment. To prove this verse right here proves we deal with monolatrism, not polytheism, not monotheism or henotheism, right? So let's go here. 10 is 10.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Kind of like it. Matthew 4:10. Then Yahushua unto him. So then say Yahushua unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship Yahweh thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. Now watch this. Him only shalt thou serve. What's that word? Strong's G3000. Latreia. That's where you get that word from. Latreism. To serve, minister to either gods or men, and in the NT to render a religious service or homage to worship, to perform sacred services, to offer gifts. That's give a sacrifice. Read that verse again.
It says Exodus 22 and 20. He that sacrificeth unto any god,
sacred services to offer gifts that sacrifice. Read.
Save unto Yahweh only, he shall be utterly destroyed.
Monolatrism right there. All praise Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Just so y'all can understand, when you deal with these different terms, monotheism, polytheism, these things do not really sum up what we do. Monolatrism sums up what we do. And big shout out to the soldier. I don't know if the war dog, Zahar, is in the building, but he's the one, because there was a big discussion about that in soldier war dog Zahar, Yaqub Bungad. He the one that really showed us this term. And I said, damn, this is it. And then this verse correlates, because we already knew about the word Latreia, because we dealt with that. We're going back and forth with another camp before, but it all just through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua came together, man. It was powerful. But if you just look at this monotheism, let's look at monotheism, right? The doctrine or belief that there is only one God. Wait a minute. But we know that we are gods, right? Psalms 82 and 6. So we can't believe that, right? Then we have polytheism, right? The belief in or worship of more than one God. But we don't worship more than one God, though. So we can't be polytheists. That's not accurate, right? What's the other one? Pantheist. Let's deal with pantheism. Is a doctrine which identifies God with the universe or regards to the universe as a manifestation of God. Worship that admits to tolerate all gods. We don't deal with that, right? Pantheism. Let's deal with henotheism, which is close to monolatrism, but not quite close. Adherence to one particular God out of several, especially by a tribe, family, or other group. So we're saying that there's a bunch of gods, but we're just going to choose to worship just one. Monolatrism is a little bit different than that, okay? Henotheism is the worship of a single God while not denying the existence or possible existence of other deities. Because there's something that basically says like it insinuates that
like other gods could exist, but we choose to worship this one.
Not just that, but like there could be another God on the
same plane.
Yeah, the same plane as Yahweh. Like that's we don't deal with that. But henotheism and monolatrism are very close. But according to that verse we read here in Exodus 22 and 20, monolatrism is actually it better defines what Israel is, how Israel worships and practices, right, and how we're commanded to do according to Torah. But go ahead.
This is Exodus 22 and 21. Thou shalt neither vex a stranger nor oppress him, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt.
That's right. Go ahead.
Ye shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child.
Go ahead.
If thou afflict them in any wise, and they cry at all unto me, I will surely hear their cry.
See that when these people cry, when certain marginalized groups of Israelites cry against you, the Most High is going to hear it. The poor people, widow people who just, they clearly are in the disposition where they need help, and you do wrong to them, and they cry to you, how he's going to hear them and he's going to judge you. Please believe that. Right? Read on.
Come on. and my wrath shall wax hot, and I will kill you with the sword.
I will what?
Kill you with
the
the
Lord
sword.
is going to deal with you if you oppress the downtrodden of our people. You will be killed. Thus saith Yahweh. Right? Read.
And your wives shall be widows, and your children fatherless.
That's right. You want to do wrong to the widows and the fatherless? Your children going to be a fatherless. Your wife going to be a widow. All right? So do right by them. Right? Go ahead.
25. If thou lend money to any of my people that is poor by thee, thou shalt not be to him as an usurer, neither shalt thou lay upon him usury.
Okay, so usury. This is another thing. People think, I had a discussion with a brother. He said, man, don't you think that was used? That's usury. No, usury does not mean to use somebody. All right? Let's understand, which is still wrong to use people. Right? Don't get that wrong. Yeah. Okay, but that's not what usury is. So let me explain through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai what usury is. Where we at? Right here. Okay, cool. Open this back up for y'all. Usury. The illegal action or practice of lending money at unreasonably high interest rates, interest at unreasonably high rates, using the practice of making unethical or immoral monetary loans that unfairly enrich the lender. Originally, usury meant interest of any kind. See, in this time, it just meant unreasonably high. Originally, usury meant interest of any kind. That's what it means in the Torah. Meaning, if you lend $20 to an Israelite, you cannot ask him for $25 back, $30, or $40 back. You lend him 20, he's only to give you back 20. All right? A loan may be considered usurious because of this excessive or abusive interest rates and other factors. Again, originally, usury meant interest of any kind. So you don't charge an Israelite interest on a loan. You just loan him a dub, he gives you back a dub. That simple. Right? So that's what usury means. Go ahead.
Okay. It says, verse 26, and then notice this is, you can't do that to your own people. This is what it's saying. You can use usury against the heathen. Verse 26, if thou at all take thy neighbor's raiment to pledge, thou shalt deliver it unto him by that the sun goeth down.
That's right. So if you use somebody's clothes as a collateral for a loan, before the sun goes down, you have to give this person their clothes back. Right? Read.
Con. It says, for that is his covering only. It is his raiment for his skin. Wherein shall he sleep?
How are you going to sleep freezing cold without that raiment is what it's saying. Read.
And it shall come to pass when he crieth unto me that I will hear, for I am gracious.
Read on.
Thou shalt not, well, this goes, see, all praise you, thou shalt not revile the gods.
Right, revile the gods. See, there's more than one God. Revile the gods, but there's only one Most High God and one God that we render worship, sacred service, and sacrifice to. Right? So go ahead.
Thou shalt not revile the gods, nor curse the ruler of thy people.
That's right. No curse the ruler. So this is talking about people who are in rulership, leadership position. Is yours?
No.
Okay. You don't. The people who you don't curse them. Right. Read on.
Con. It says
the judges, the priests, later the king, etc. Right. Go ahead.
It says, thou shalt not delay to offer the first of thy ripe fruits and of thy liquors, the firstborn of thy sons shalt thou give unto me. Likewise shalt thou do with thine oxen and with thy sheep. 7 days it shall be with his dam. On the 8th day thou shalt give it me. And ye shall be holy men unto me. Neither shall ye eat any flesh that is torn of beasts in the field. Ye shall cast it to the dogs.
That's right. We only eat things that are killed. Right. We don't eat things that die of themselves or was torn by some other beast. We don't eat that. Right. You finished 23.
Okay, all right.
Oh, go ahead.
Exodus 23:1. Thou shalt not raise a false report. Put not thine hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness.
Right, don't be a false witness, raise false reports upon brothers, etc. That's wicked.
Verse 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to do.
That's right, you don't follow. See, that's the thing. People want to follow the crowd to do evil. Right? That's how a lot of people get on drugs, get in gangs, commit crimes, steal, kill people. It's following a multitude to do evil. If y'all saw my y'all saw Guerrilla Hebrew Homecoming, y'all seen I'm gonna show y'all this. Y'all seen I was talking about a fight I had gotten into when I was young, and a dude who was with a brother that was with the devil I was fighting, a brother from the tribe of Issachar, how he ended up, getting charged with a murder. What do I got this? Hold on. How he ended up getting charged with a murder, though he didn't really do the murder, right? But he got charged with a murder. Where is he at? right there to y'all. Hold on. One second. All right. All right. So read that scripture again.
Exodus 23:2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment.
Right. So it say you don't follow a multitude to do evil. Right. So as we can see here, right, it says Manuel Hernandez was a kid who grew up with few advantages and made bad choices, but he didn't murder Eric Towles, his attorney told Judge Monday. But guess what? He was put on, 12-year-old was put on trial for murder because he was there, because he followed a multitude for this mischief. And because he was there, he gets charged with murder and found guilty of murder. See that? That's why you shouldn't have been there in the first place. Now, of course, in our custom, if you didn't do that, then if you were just there, you wouldn't necessarily be charged with the body and we have to put to death, but a judgment would happen and the Most High would have something coming to you, right? Be it by the judges or just be it from life. And this is what happened, unfortunately, to this young brother, right? Following a multitude to do evil, right? So go ahead.
It says, neither shalt thou countenance a poor man in his cause.
Go ahead.
If thou meet thine enemy's ox,
right? Meaning don't try to screw over a poor person, right? If you meet your enemy's ox, this is, again, remember, y'all got to remember this scripture. This scripture right here is the precept to love your enemies. To Matthew 5:44. It's right here in the law. Anyone ever tries to make you love the white man with that scripture, you take them right here to the law. It says, read that again.
Exodus 23:4. If thou meet thine enemy's ox.
Your enemy's ox. It's amongst your people. Your enemy's ox. Israel lived amongst Israel. So your enemy would be another Israelite in this context, clearly. If you meet your enemy's ox, read on.
Or his ass going astray.
Or his donkey going astray, leaving. Read on.
Thou shalt surely bring it back to him again.
You better bring it back to him. That is the action of loving your enemy, your fellow Hebrew Israelite who you don't get along with. Read.
If thou see the ass of him that hateth thee lying under his burden, and wouldest forbear
stuck, right? Read.
And wouldest forbear to help him, thou shalt surely help with him.
That's right. You better help. That is the action of loving your enemy, according to Yahweh. Read.
It says, keep thee far from a false matter, and the innocent and righteous slay thou not.
Read on.
For I will not justify the wicked.
That's right. You ain't going to justify. See, Yahweh Shai is telling you this because he knows Yahweh's not going to justify you, and Yahweh's trying to get you justified. Ain't that what that idiot so real to see the just and the unjust? He not understanding. That's why I said you got to deal with context. It's still talking about Israel, but you want to play a semantical game, and I'm not walking down that path because I'm not stupid. Read.
And thou shalt take no gift, for the gift blindeth the wise, and perverteth the words of the righteous.
Go ahead.
Also thou shalt not oppress a stranger, for ye know the heart of a stranger, seeing you were strangers in the land of Egypt.
That's right. Again, so when people are strange, we're not just oppressing them, right? How does people oppress the stranger? Well, I don't know if that video is still up, but how do people oppress a stranger? When the Haitian came to Miami, the tribe of Judah oppressed Levi. When Issachar was first coming into L.A., the tribe of Judah was oppressing Issachar. Right, because he was strange. He was from somewhere different. He had a different language. His culture was different, so he was oppressed. That's what the Bible tells you not to do. Right? The Zebulonites coming to Mexico. Issachar oppresses them. Levi going to the land of Simeon. Simeon oppresses us. Right? What's what we're not supposed to do? Precept.
Leviticus 25:35. And if thy brother be waxen poor, a fellow
Israelite, read,
and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him.
Read on.
Yea, though he be a stranger.
Though your brother's a stranger, he's still your brother, but he's strange. He's strange too. He's from somewhere else. He's not a non-Israelite. He's from somewhere else. You can't tell me that there's not people amongst the black and Hispanic that is strange. You hear certain people amongst the tribes talk about other people amongst the tribe's culture in a strange way. Like, damn, y'all do this down there. Or even amongst your own tribe.
Your own family.
Judites. Damn, them niggas down south is like this. Them niggas on the West Coast, them niggas on the East Coast, them niggas in the Midwest is like this. it's strange to you. Right? Go ahead.
Or a sojourner that he may live with thee. I got another precept too.
Go ahead.
This is a Psalm 69. This is a Psalm of David, the king of Israel. Verse 8. Psalm 69 and 8. I am become a stranger unto my brethren, and an alien unto my mother's children. So, because they love to say this thing, the stranger, alien, it's a non-Israelite. So the king of Israel, David, the son of Jesse from the tribe of Judah, was a non-Israelite. What kind of? Why don't you make some sense out of that?
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
Exodus 23 and verse 8 or verse 10. It says, "In 6 years thou shalt sow thy land, and shalt gather in the fruits thereof. But the 7th year thou shalt let it rest and lie still, that the poor of thy people may eat. And what they leave the beasts of the field shall eat. In like manner thou shalt deal with thy vineyard and with thy olive yard. 6 days thou shalt do thy work, and on the 7th day thou shalt rest, that thine ox and thine ass may rest, and the son of thine handmaid, and the stranger that may be refreshed." Verse 13. "And in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect, and make no mention of the names of other gods, neither let it be heard out of thy mouth."
So we don't invoke the other gods, man. We don't call upon those names. You don't pray to those names, etc.
3 times thou shalt keep a feast unto me in the year. Thou shalt keep the feast of unleavened bread. Thou shalt eat unleavened bread 7 days, as I commanded thee, in the time appointed of the month of Abib, for in it thou camest out from Egypt, and none shall appear before me empty. And the feast of the harvest, the first fruits of thy labors, which thou hast sown in the field, and the feast of ingathering, which is in the end of the year, when thou hast gathered in thy labors out of the field. 3 times in the year all thy males shall appear before the Lord, before Yahweh. Thou shalt not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leavened bread.
So you had to show up to Jerusalem at least 3 times in a year. Go ahead.
It says, "Neither shall the fat of my sacrifice remain until the morning. The first of the first fruits of thy land thou shalt bring into the house of the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not see the kid in his mother's milk."
Right, meaning not that you can't have a cheeseburger, meaning you can't eat what they call veal, or you can't eat a lamb while it's still on its, it's still drinking breast milk. All right,
okay.
You gotta wait, until it's been weaned to eat it. Go ahead.
This is Exodus 23 and 20. "Behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way, and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared."
The angel that he's sending, by the way, is Yahushua. Right, read on.
It says, "Beware of him and obey his voice. Provoke him not."
Same way now, when he came on the scene, beware of Yahushua and obey his voice. To this day, beware of Yahushua and obey his voice. Go ahead.
"Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him."
Right, there you go. The name is in Yahushua, and provoke him not, and obey his voice. These are all things that we see in the New Testament. What you people don't understand is this is the guy, the same guy. Go ahead.
It says, "But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice, and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto thine enemies, and an adversary unto thine adversaries." God just said, if we listen to what he says, that all of our enemies, blacks and Hispanics enemies, are going to be God's enemies. Where's the love for everybody in that?
I would love to understand that and get a breakdown on that.
If you listen to what I say, God, kids, I'm gonna be an enemy to the white people.
I'm gonna kill everyone that ever tries to do anything to you.
"For mine angel," oh wow, let's watch this. "For mine angel shall go before thee, and bring thee in unto the Amorites, and the Hittites, and the Perizzites, and the Canaanites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites, and I will cut them off."
I'm going to kill these people. That's what I'm going to do. He's going to lead you into this. I'm going to kill these people. Go ahead.
"Thou shalt not bow down to their gods, nor serve them, nor do after their works, but thou shalt utterly overthrow them, and quite break down their images. And ye shall serve Yahweh your God, and he shall bless thy bread and thy water, and I will take sickness away from the midst of thee. There shall nothing cast their young, nor be barren in thy land. The number of thy days I will fulfill. I will send my fear before thee, and will destroy all the people to whom thou shalt come."
And destruction. Right, read on.
"And I will make all thine enemies turn their backs unto thee." And
they're going to be scared.
Yeah, running away.
Back? Yeah, I'm out. Go ahead.
"And I will send hornets before thee, which shall drive out the Hivite, the Canaanite, and the Hittite."
I'm going to send killer Africanized bees that is going to kill these Hamites.
What? God really didn't love the Canaanite. When did he love the Canaanite? He's going to send killer bees.
All right. Killer bees, and not Rizza Jizza The Ghostface Killer and Raekwon the Chef. Damn it, we talking about actual Africanized bees, as the white man calls them. Go ahead.
And the Hittite from before thee. I will not drive them out from before thee in 1 year, lest the land become desolate, and the beasts of the field multiply against thee. By little and little I will drive them out from before thee. He's torture. He's slowly getting them out of there.
Die slow.
Yeah. Well, Most High made sure that all their don't grow.
All their children don't grow, man. That's a fact.
Like that, I'm tripping, bro. But verse 30, and inherit the land. And I will set thy bounds from the Red Sea even unto the sea of the Philistines, and from the desert unto the river. For I will deliver the inhabitants of the land into your hand, and thou shalt drive them out from before thee. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor with their gods. They shall not dwell in thy land, lest they make thee sin against me.
Yeah, we don't get cool with these Canaanites, man. We supposed to just take them out. That's what we were supposed to do, right? Read on.
Con. It says, for if thou serve their gods, it will surely be a snare unto thee.
Right, and ultimately it was, and now we still go to the strip club.
Yeah.
Because their gods are a snare unto us, because that's a practice that we got from them. Worshiping Ashtoreth, the Ashtoreth pole, right? The groves, etc. Right? That was it on 23?
Yeah, or 20, yeah.
All right, so that's going to conclude our Torah portion. We're going to take us out with some prayers, man, and in this Shabbat service. So let's rise and face the east again. We're going to say the Imalian prayer. All right. Abanawi Yahweh. Adawan Kwatazayor. Bahashim Mashiach Yahushai. Babakusha, Babakusha, Babakusha. Nabai Imalian. Nabai Rab Imalian. Kwatazayar Dakat. Yam Yashai. Yasharahla. Babakusha, Babakusha, Babakusha. Abanawi Yahweh. Bahashim Mashiach Yahushai. The water a month. That prayer is what we call the harvest prayers. Is Our Father Yahweh, Lord of harvest, in the name of your anointed Yahweh Shai, please, please, please send laborers. Send many laborers for the harvest. Hasten the day of salvation for Israel. Please, 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 our Father Yahweh, in the name of the anointed Yahweh Shai. Thank you, Aman. Right, and we're going to now give our thanks for the Shabbat and then put the curses up. So again, the water Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Barak Shabbat. Now we're going to put the curses up. Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Shalak Rayam. Wa Anashim. Wa Abadim. Wa Harayim. Wa Mashapatyam. Al Kal. Ayab Yamnawa. Wa Gawayam. Wa Ayab Yamnawa. Babakusha, Babakusha, Babakusha. Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. The water Aman. All right, that closes the Shabbat service. Shabbat Shalom, everybody keeping a Sabbath. Y'all keeping it tomorrow. Shabbat Shalom in advance. So Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai Barakatham, and all praises to Abanawi Yahweh Ba'ashim Mashiach Yahweh Shai. The water to the sister, I believe Sister Jess gave a super chat. I want to just thank you again. And everybody, if you're trying to get, whoever was given an email, man, go ahead and hit that email, man. Let's get in this work. And begin to labor in this harvest through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. So again, give all praise to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai and say Shabbat Shalom.